Welcome to another video. Well, isn't this a strange start, because I am at Future Tracy talking about some footage that I've got from a couple of weeks ago. I spoke to you guys, the last time I did a garden video, I think, was when I was ill, and you were also very kind and wished me well, etc, etc. And I've done other videos since then and not really kind of caught up with myself in terms of footage. I was getting ready to finish work and everything was going into the outdoor kitchen time-wise, and making sure that I was ready to leave work and that I wasn't going to be kind of having to do work, too much work anyway, while I'm off. I generally don't get full-time off work, but that's by the by. And I was looking at the footage and I thought, I've actually done a lot more than I realised. And I'd put a post on YouTube telling you guys there's not going to be any video because I haven't managed to get one. I got more than I thought, and there's actually 2 different days that I've done the recordings on. There was the day after Mother's Day, which I think was literally a couple of days after, so that was the Monday, and we'd only just spoken on the Saturday, I think it was. And then a bit further on, which was the 25th of March, when I've looked at the footage. And a lot's happened since then, and I don't want to lose the momentum of what was happening and what I was talking about. And I want to personally be able to look back on it, as well as kind of show you guys what's going on. And I just thought, well, I'm out here supervising Tweedledee and Tweedledum, because Tweedledum keeps getting her head stuck in the fence anyway. And I thought, let's just have a little catch up. I can put this in at the beginning, tell you guys, ow, I've got an itch, tell you that we're going back over, we're going to go back in time, let the world know we've fixed the problem. And yeah, you can have a look what the footage was all about. We can sort of generally catch up over the last couple of weeks if things has been a bit manic, and come back to now whilst I'm busy on, you go watch that whilst I get busy on in here. Hello and welcome to another week in the allotment, vegetable plot, veg patch, whatever you want to call it. It's not Saturday morning, it is the end of Monday. I am feeling so much better though than I was when I last spoke to you guys, which is why the first part of this video is today on Monday. I've taken the weekend. It was Mother's Day yesterday. Saturday I still wasn't feeling great, because the last video that I put out was the March kind of look around the plot. And I just to say got through that, because I don't know if you noticed, I went downhill quite fast towards the end of it. Took Saturday to recover. Sunday was Mother's Day. I got some beautiful lilies in a pot off my mum. Even though I get her something, she still gets me something. And I'm going to put those outside. I'm going to put, once they've flowered, I'm going to put them in the ground, and hopefully they'll come back every year. Grace went out and got some daffodils off our land, and Jack was there, but apparently he didn't cut them. He was the lookout for me. I was feeding, apparently. They did all of this and I had no idea what was going on around me. And they also got me a bottle of wine. So my sobriety days are over. I lasted 81 days and I'm back on drinking the red wine now. So I think I shall be coming to you. Haven't had a glass yet, I promise. I think I will be coming to you with a glass of red wine very soon. And it's the 20th of March. It's the spring equinox. I am not totally au fait with the right days and the right phrases, but all I know is I feel so much better. Whether or not it's because I'm getting over this, whatever it is, that I've got cold. Poor Jack's coming down with it now though, having said that. I feel energised. I have actually started going on my morning walks again, which this Sunday, when the clocks spring forward, that's going to mess me up for a little while. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by activity outside. Yeah, so Sunday the clocks are going forward, spring forward, isn't it? So that means that on a morning, at the moment it's light at 6 o'clock. It's not going to get light until 7 o'clock. But even we've got a week until that happens almost. So I think we'll still get quite a few. Is it 4 extra minutes a day of light we'll get at the moment? So it shouldn't be too bad. So I think what I'm going to do is get my jobs done in the barn where we've got light, so I can use the electricity. And by the time I've got those done, it'll hopefully be light enough to go for a walk. Anyway, I digress, as always. I keep hearing things. I have the feeling I'm not alone. Anyway, I'm so pleased. Anyway, I'm back, feeling great. Hopefully that's coming across as well, because it's just awful when you're not feeling very well, and people don't want to watch other people not feeling very well because it might bring them down as well. What I'm going to get done, I've got a ton an absolute ton, it feels like, of potting on to do. Things are going to get restricted, especially the tomatoes. If I don't get those guys potted on very soon, they're just going to sit in the plugs, and they're not going to grow, obviously, because there's just not enough compost in there for them. So that's what I'm going to get concentrating on tonight and for the rest of the week, hopefully. So I've been at home today. I've got a few nights, I've got a few days in the office, which means that I'll have less light on the night. But this time next week, it's going to be light until bedtime. Forgot. How can I? It is 13 degrees on this Monday evening and 82% humidity. One or two things that I wanted to show you in the greenhouse. So I put this on Instagram, but this is wild garlic. So my wild garlic that I've got out there, literally in that planter there, has self-seeded all over the place, and I want to make sure that I'm collecting those as they're growing and moving them to where I want them, because they're self-seeding in the pathway, which isn't ideal. So yeah, I've thought if I can pot them on and look after them, and I've potted those on when I've got all this to be doing, but just like usual, I got distracted. I keep saying distracted. My attention was diverted to something else. Anyway, they're potted on, and when they get bigger I'll start putting them around. I've got different places that I think down here where we've fenced that off so the horses can't get there when they're out in the car park full of snowdrops. I think that would look beautiful covered in wild garlic, and I wouldn't have to go too far to harvest it. And I know it is wild garlic because I was saying on Instagram I didn't trust my foraging skills when I first moved here. I was just learning, I still am. So I made sure that I bought some, and I bought it in, I think it's called In Green, is that how it's called? And it came as like just baby little plants, and I just got them planted, and it's totally taken off. So I started yesterday potting on the spinach, which needs watering. I'll do that next, and I've just started with the big tray of all kinds of brassicas. You can see I made a little effort about that. My alarm went off. Yeah, so I got started yesterday. Didn't feel like videoing. Just wanted to get started on it. So this is where I'm at now, and this is where I'm going to be working. Still haven't got all the seeds sorted out, but I will, she says. Everything else is just looking really good still. Just really needs to get moved on. So I'm going to stop talking and just get busy. We're still in the shed. We're on 15 degrees today, and this is a true reflection of the weather because I've had the shed door open all day, and we're at 53% humidity, so it's definitely getting drier. Spring is definitely here, both astrologically and meteorologically. Is that right? Both calendars? Anyway, spring's here, and you can totally feel it. It's such a difference. We've got 2 nights left of below zero temperatures, so below freezing for us, and I think after that, I think that's going to be it then. I think we are well and truly temperatures of growing, so the grass will be growing, the veggies are going to be growing. I've struggled, believe it or not, even though it's still been super cold, the greenhouse has had some really hot temperatures, and when I've been away at work for the day, despite my best efforts, I always worry if it's going to get too cold, but really it should be worrying if it gets too hot, because the plants will usually survive the cold. And I've had a few frazzle, a couple of radish, and some of the tomatoes didn't look too healthy, but they seem to have come back now with good water. That was the other day, so I'm going to go and take a look at those. And I just thought we'd have a nice little catch up, because this week I haven't been out here too much because, as I said, I've been to work, but also it's been all hands on deck for the new outdoor kitchen, which we are calling the Small Hold Inn. Stephen keeps referring to it as the bar, and it is the bar, but it doesn't sound right for the kids to go, "Oh, where's Mum? She's in the bar." It's like I sound like a raging alcoholic that's always in the bar. I'm actually cooking in the kitchen, well, hopefully I will be, that's the plan. It's not quite at that stage yet, but we have got the gravel down for the floor outside, the electrics inside are done. I think I might have said before, inside is kind of electric on grid and gas bottles, and then the outdoor bit underneath the roof that Stephen fell off that'll be all wood and off-grid style. So we've got the gravel down on the floor. I'm going to do a whole tour of that. I've had a few requests about that, but it's coming along brilliantly. Really excited. We need to furnish it, and we're getting a tripod to cook on, with the fire underneath that you can hang your Dutch oven off, all that kind of stuff. So it's been all hands on deck there, to be honest. So we haven't done anything out here since I last spoke to you when I wasn't very well. Was that when I last spoke to you? I think it was on here. I've been doing my podcast since then. I'm so much better. I feel fantastic compared to where I did. Everything's starting to feel better. That might be because of the raw milk that I'm drinking, I'm pretty sure. Having said that, I'm also back on the wine, so it might be something to do with that as well. Anyway, can you hear the birds? It's a glorious day. As I say, it's going to be quite a short video. I'm just going to capture what's going on, show you where we're up to. I'm going to be potting on like a mad woman, but I've been weeding, and I've also noticed while I'm weeding, there's more weeds in the strawberry bed, which I thought were strawberry plants originally, but they're not, the nettles. So there's going to be more work. I'm going to set a timer and get in there. But yeah, I've been getting the weeds that you guys saw, the dandelions that are just, I want the dandelions in the fields and places like that because I'm going to be making dandelion honey and dandelion wine. I just don't want them in my veggie beds because then I forget and they turn into clocks and they just, you know, grow everywhere and everywhere. Let's go and have a look. Even though it is nice and bright and sunny, it's actually not that warm. There is a bit of a chill in the air, and it's saying that the sun's really warm now. I'm stood here. So what I've been doing, I've had the kids out for their usual weekly, I asked them to do an hour in the veg plot with me to help. They've been out and I'll show you the work that they've been doing. I was going to put my coat on, I might have to, but at the moment it's still nice enough. So let's walk up and we'll start at the top. Grace has given them the kale plant that snapped off in one of the storms, and they're looking at it as if to say, is there anything like strawberries maybe? Spoiled girls. So in here we've got 2 girls and a boy. That's just how it's worked out at the moment. I'll probably put a couple more girls in here. I'm hoping the lockdown's going to end soon because then they can all go in the paddock. Although I do like having the chickens in the veg plot. It's really nice. You hear the farmers, that's proper country life. They have been up and down all day today. They're spraying something. Now I need to be careful that they're not spraying anything that doesn't agree with me, because when we first moved here, I didn't realise that they were actually spraying some sort of pesticide. Got a whole lungful of it and ended up in bed for a few hours, like really feeling ill, really ill. And there was one year, mysteriously, all of my sunflowers died. Everything over a certain height died, and I think we got some drift off them. So it's not really ideal, but anyway, they're really busy today, up and down like yo-yos up and down our lane, which is just behind me there. These girls are just ignoring me. Let's show you what's going on in the veg plot. Okay, so this bed here has got a broken side. We had this, what's it called, terrace fencing. I actually used this last year to grow beans up, but it was too thick and the tendrils just didn't get through. I thought they would have been okay going through there, but apparently not, so that won't be getting used this year. And what I've decided, I've weeded these 3 beds, so you might be able to see leftover dandelion roots. My goodness me, some of those roots were literally, I kid you not, as long as my arm. I couldn't believe it. So Grace has helped me stand that up because that had fell over in one of the storms and it's actually smashed. Well, it was already rotten, the side of this bed, but these are okay to plant in now. So what I'm going to do, I think I've decided, I'm going to put the potatoes in the 3 of these beds and see how much we've either got left or how much more I'll need. So if I need any more, I think I'm going to use the bed on the other side of that IBC tank for the potatoes as well. It's really damp, that bed, for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anyway, these 3 beds have been weeded. What I'm going to do down the middles here, there's ground membrane that we put down in autumn of last year on that one, and these have just got the asparagus ferns down. I'm going to take the brick out and then I'm going to lay down, do you remember we said that we've got the sheep in the barn and we'll use the bedding for other places like this? That's an ideal use of the bedding there. So I'll make sure that we use that for that, and then that'll really suppress any weeds that are coming through. I'll be doing that over Easter probably. Now look at this, Grace has used her own pennies to go and buy some flowers for Dwayne. So she has weeded all of this for me, bless her, and she has put those flowers in all around Dwayne's grave. Dwayne's grave's actually only that bit there, but she's done it all around the cherry tree, which is just lovely. So I think that's absolutely really stunning. This is the mint plant, obviously the top of this. These bits here are last year's growth, so these can come off. These could just be chopped down to make it look neater. Oh, I nearly swore then. I got stung. That's a nettle, little swine. But this is mint. Oh, do you know, it's just my absolute favourite smell. I love mint, just typical garden mint. You can do so much with it, teas and even just mint jellies, and oh, I love it, absolutely love it. It's a bit dried or fresh. Okay, so where was I? Did I know when we moved here there was already a very well established lovage plant, and I bought all of these little plants when we moved in, never had been gardened before, and lovage was one of the only ones that survived out of that little batch because I didn't know what I was doing. Not only did it survive, it completely thrived and took over, so I've got 2 huge lovage plant in the summer. I let the other one go a little bit more, but this one I try to maintain just because it takes over the bed. This is the comfrey. Grace has left that in. She knows exactly what comfrey is, bless her, and that has taken so well from last year. So I'm really pleased with how this is doing, and she's going to maintain this. Yes, there's the knife in the ground for some reason, but those nettles there will take over if we're not careful, but she'll get on top of that, I'm sure. And then we've got these are cleavers here, sticky weed, which will come out because they're in a position that we don't want them in. But we will be using cleavers, if you're interested, in an upcoming video to make a tincture, along with some other things. I saw that on Rural and Rustic's Instagram account. And this bed is all weeded now, freshly. We have got in the corner, that is lovage. I couldn't remember it then. That's the lovage that will be starting to come through. You can actually see it already. The bit that looks like rhubarb is lovage coming through. That will totally take over and become rampant. Ask me how I know. Now in my shadow we've got the asparagus bed. I have left this. This hasn't been weeded. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this because this has got the gravel down, which is all of this stuff here. But these will all have straw. Now I'm not too sure whether to put straw in here or not. Anyway, we will see. But I don't think so because it's just going to look a mess compared to the gravel. Anyway, another farmer's coming past. Well, same farmer, different person, if that makes sense. Same farm, different worker. Asparagus, none starting to come through yet. That'll be in May, but I've just weeded this. There was absolutely all sorts of dandelions and other things in this one. Now this is my strawberry bed that I was saying all the nettles are coming through. These are dead nettles, purple dead nettle I think it's called, and they were all along here, which Jack has weeded for me, but I need to get in here with a bucket and just sit down and try and pull them out because they're just taking over. That's the strawberry leaf, that's the nettle leaf, and I just hadn't realised how many there were. I just give it a quick glance. So this strawberry bed, you can see, hopefully you can hear me, apologies if there's if the tractor's too noisy. These are fresh strawberry leaves coming through now that we've given this a rake over the other week. The fresh strawberry leaves are starting to grow, which is fantastic. I might sprinkle some more compost on this bed once I've got all of these. These are all the same, the nettles. The only problem is with these purple dead nettles, I think that's what they're called, you start grabbing hold of them and then you'll suddenly find a stinging nettle in between them and they, you know, sting you. And then down here, this is definitely lemon balm that I talked to you about the other week. And this IBC tank is an absolute eyesore. So I've said to Stephen I want to do something about that. Not sure what yet because I think it's full. Hopefully you can see on this bed, Grace and I have done a lot of work on here. She's really helped me. There's some, not asparagus, Jerusalem artichokes still under here, which we're just getting to, but as is always the case. Cardboard has gone down in front of the compost bays just to stop any weeds coming up, and we can just use this with the wheelbarrows to tip the compost, and that seems to be working really well. As you can see, we've dug at it to try and get it in a nice square. Still got those leeks. I think they're perennial, that's why I've left them. I bought some perennial stuff for this bed, so I need to go back and check my notes. Anyway, that's looking really well. This wheelbarrow is seen better days because it's got so many holes in it, but it's really good for, you know, putting your buckets and things in. And then left to do is bin this cardboard. We found a hat, a winter hat. Make a decision on the IBC tank, and I've still got those raspberry roots too. Oh look, we missed one. We've missed one. Still got those raspberry roots to get rid of, and we haven't done anything else on this side just yet. So all of this here still needs a good weed, and the pathways haven't been touched on this one, and I'll just give this a bit of a scrape off too. But look at that rhubarb. How well is that doing? I'm going to grab some of this and make the obligatory rhubarb crumble with it, and I've got so many other recipes that I'm going to make with rhubarb this year. We have a syrup that I make every year, cordial as well, which the kids really enjoy. So you can see these leaves will be fine. They haven't affected the stalk. The stalk feels absolutely fine. These are off the frost that we had. So they're coming back really well. But yeah, I haven't done anything else here, just a few bits else that I want to get tidied up though. But I really need to make a start on this on the ground outside here, the orchard as we call it, or the mini orchard, just because these weeds are going to go rampant. But I just haven't decided what to put down on the ground. It's Trying to keep costs down, but trying to keep the weeds down. I don't know, we'll see how we get to. Can you see the farmer in the distance? He's spraying a bit close for me. I think what I might do is head in and leave him to it. Anyway, briefly, oh, first bumblebee of the year. Don't get mad with me. Okay, he's a bit mad. Oh, she's a bit mad. Actually, really got mad. That'll teach me, got really mad. Anyway, that tree is apricot. I remembered after the last video when I said we were saying it was almond. It's not, it's apricot. So we'll see how that does, but we've not had an apricot off it in all the time it's been in. Right, I think what we'll do now as well, I'm going to have a look in the greenhouse when I come back out, so I'll catch up with you then. The farmer's spraying really close and I don't end up breathing any of that stuff in. I never know what it is. And we'll catch up soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little catch up. I look like a bit of a mad woman. I've just took my hair down after doing the horse's stables, so I shall smell lovely right now. I'm going to get these guys in just now, but I'm just literally loving the sunlight that we've got. The spring equinox has been and gone. I'm already enjoying those lighter nights that I was starting to talk about in those videos. How like unnerving in some ways is it at how quickly this time passes. I feel like I've only just recorded that. I know you've only just watched it, but you get what I mean. So yeah, we're already in those lighter nights. I'm enjoying it. I'm out here every night doing what I can. However, the weather has not been kind to us. This is the first day where we've had beautiful sunshine. It has still been Baltic in the shade though. If you've kind of been sweating in the sun, as soon as you've crossed into the shade, you've literally been shivering. I'm going to need to put my coat on again just now. It was too warm after doing the stables. He's creeping up. What are you doing in there, ma'am? Who are you talking to? Are you going to be cheeky? You're going to be up to no good? Anyway, so I thought let's just have a little catch up. I am busy in here. There has not that much changed, to be quite honest. I have just literally been keeping things alive. I have done some potting on, nowhere near as much as I wanted to, but that's what the benefit of these couple of weeks is going to be. That's one of the reasons why I take off this time at Easter. Normally we're lambing. I'll tell you more about that in a different video. We're not lambing as such this year. You probably already know if you follow us on Instagram. And yeah, we take the time off at Easter to catch up because we don't always have as much time as we would like during the weeks and you know, the other working days that we have to go to work, unfortunately, to pay the bills. So I'm still not where I want to be, but the next few days will definitely see that happen. I don't know if you can see a difference, but these wild garlic are actually really taking root and working. And just out where I got them from, don't drop them, the little patch down there is absolutely loads. I'm not going to go out there because it's in the shade and like I said, I might freeze. No, but seriously, there is loads coming through. With wild garlic, you can eat the full top to tail of the plant, roots and all. And I think I'm going to try and have the best of both worlds. I'll take some more now that I know that it roots quite well and that I can replant over where the horse keeps getting a head stuck. I'll get some wild garlic in there once these are a little bit more established, but I plan on just letting some of them grow there, not go to seed. I'm pointing to outside of the planter, and then just take the whole thing up, and I'm going to be using them, the bulbs, the roots, the bulbs as well. Because essentially, if you take the whole plant, nothing's going to grow back unless you've let it go to seed. But so yeah, really looking forward to doing that. Those have taken really well. The ones in the pots as well. So coming on nicely. So once I can actually get my behind out here and get busy, we have got 2 days of sun. I've got lots planned for the Easter holidays. As I keep harping on about, now I just need to get into gear and get it done. So I will leave it there. Hope that you join me as we actually get through. I'm going to be doing quite a few videos showing a few different things. I'll do some specific gardening ones, and I'll also incorporate some of it into some of the other videos that we've got too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait. So hopefully you've enjoyed the little kind of reminisce of what we've been doing. If not, sorry about that, and I hope you join me on the next one. Bye for now.